In a world of frozen palaces and simmering hatred, what happens when the last ember is tossed into the heart of a blizzard? She was hunted for the fire in her veins. This is the world of Frostblood. On one side, you've got the Frostbloods, the ruling class with the power of ice and frost at their fingertips, and they maintain control with an iron well frozen fist. A group of rebels sees her not as a monster, but as a potential savior. They bust her out, but their help comes with a serious catch. Before she can even enter the tournament, Ruby is forced to prove her strength by fighting and killing the king's monstrous beast in a pit. After that, she's thrown into the main event. She's trained by Arcus, a mysterious and infuriating Frostblood, who at first sees her as nothing but a weapon. Their dynamic is pure fire and is a classic enemy's tool of hers. Story built on tension, grudging respect, and the slow burn realization that they might just need each other to survive. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to join me for more dives into the best and sometimes messiest parts of YA Fantasy, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, where Fireblood prisoners are pitted against the King's Own Frostblood champions in battles to the death. To survive, fighters can't just rely on raw power. It's a fantastic tale of survival, revenge, and the first sparks of a revolution. It takes those fantasy elements we all know and love and executes them with high stakes and real emotion. Ruby's transformation from a hunted girl into a symbol of hope is what really anchors the story. It's all about finding strength in what makes you different, and learning that the fight for justice is always bigger than a simple quest for vengeance. It's a great reminder that even in the coldest worlds, a single spark of defiance can be enough to start a fire that changes everything. They have to use strategy and grit to stay alive. This blend of deadly combat and tactical survival pushes Ruby to her absolute limit, forcing her to adapt or die. They want to train her to sharpen her wild. Really helps the channel out and lets me know you want more fantasy breakdowns like this one. Unpredictable fire into a weapon that can actually challenge the Frostblood King. Her mission, which started as a raw, personal vendetta for her mother's death, starts to morph into something much bigger. She sees the suffering of her people and realizes that real justice is more than just one act of revenge. She isn't a born leader, just a young woman forged into one by grief and rage. She learns that her fire, the thing she once had to hide as a curse, might be the very thing that can unite the oppressed and spark a revolution. The story plays with the idea that fire and ice, these two opposing forces, might not be fated to destroy each other after all, but could maybe create a power the world has never seen. This is where her journey kicks off for real. Shifting from a simple survivor to a fighter, fueled by a burning desire for revenge. On the other side are the Firebloods, who are hunted, feared, and nearly wiped out for their ability to command flames, only to be forged into a weapon in an arena of ice. But her enemies made one fatal mistake. They forgot that a single spark is more than enough to melt an empire. Alright, let's talk about a world that's basically broken, split right down the middle by an ancient feud. Our story follows 17-year-old Ruby, a Fireblood who has spent her entire life trying to hide her power, not just for her own safety, but for her mother's. She's a spark of warmth in a country that desperately wants to snuff her out. When the Frostblood King's soldiers raid her village, her fragile world completely shatters. Her mother is killed, trying to protect her, and Ruby has captured her worst nightmare come to life. She's thrown into a frozen hell of a prison, designed to break spirits just as effectively as it breaks bodies. But in a world this cold, secrets have a funny way of getting out, and when they do, the fallout is devastating. This first part is totally spoiler-free, so if you haven't read the book yet, don't worry, I've got you. From page 1, Ruby's life is all about survival, but her capture gets her noticed. Now, let's get into one of the most intense parts of this story. The arena. The YA fantasy genre loves a good magical tournament, and Frostblood serves up a particularly vicious one. The cruel Frostblood King forces captured Firebloods and other enemies of the crown to fight for his amusement. This isn't just about entertainment. It's a terrifying display of absolute power. This is where things get truly gladiatorial. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of Frostblood, do me a favor and hit that like button. Ruby's time with the rebels and in the arena changes her. It's here the story gives us one of our favorite tropes. Her journey is the classic reluctant hero's tale. So what makes Frostblood a story that sticks with you? What do you think? What is your favorite fire and ice magic system in a fantasy book?